Hello everyone. This is a video for my students in India. They've been contacting me and they want to know what they should do. Like they have this experience in this field and they have this number of years of experience and what they should do if the career in AML is going to help them out in increasing their salary, or pay and designation or not. So it's rather than uh, s- uh, guiding individually, I just wanted to make this video to help them out, that those who are going to ask for my guidance, I'm going to refer them this video, a short video which can help them understand that if they should make a career in anti-money laundering or not. So we want to start with something called Financial Action Task Force. This is an organization, we call it FATF, and this organization is an international organization. They have their bodies as well, FSRBs, Financial Action Task Force, regional style bodies in every continent. And for our Asia, it's APG or Eurasia Group and so on. So the purpose of this organization is to evaluate countries who how good the measures the country's federal government is doing in preventing money laundering and terrorist financing. So in evaluating the country, they perform something called mutual evaluation report and then follow-up report and so on. So the issue is that, and you must have heard of something called a gray list. So what's happening in India is that the country have not been evaluated just yet. They have been hearing news about it, that they should be evaluated in 2020. We used to hear this news in 2019, and then there was a rumor that it's going to be happening in 2021 and maybe this year, but there's again a rumor that it's going to be happening in 2030. So when a country is evaluated, the country is put in a layman way of saying, it's a white country list, gray country list, or black country list. So like the correct way of to understanding is jurisdiction under increased monitoring, or jurisdiction call for action. But when a country is performing, the federal government have their evaluated, the federal government have made their laws, anti-money laundering laws, and the regulator have made the regulations to prevent money laundering and terrorist financing. The country is considered to be a wide listed country like USA, Canada, UK, Germany, France, and so on. But when a federal government and the regulators have not been able to successfully prevent money laundering and terrorist financing, the country is put in a gray list, and there are serious consequences against that. There's a pressure on a federal government. Federal government put pressure on regulators, central banks, reserve banks, and those pressure trickle down to banks, financial institutions, fintechs, and so on to make improvement in their compliance department, which leads to lots of jobs in AML. Those countries who have been put on a gray list, like Malta, Pakistan, Cayman Island, UAE, United Arab Emirates, and Mauritius, Botswana, and Madagascar, and Zimbabwe, and so on. The result was that there were lots of jobs in AML, and when there are jobs in anti-money laundering or compliance department, they look for skilled staff. The definition of skilled staff or skilled workforce is that either you have experience and slash or you are certified. Yeah. So certification means that they will expect you to have either local certification or international certification. So the difference between two is that international, in these two, the local certification is cheap and easy to pass. Like in India, the local certification is called CMI, or in Gulf they call it CMA. So you do not want to do the ones which are easy to pass, because there are already lots of people already have it. You want to do the ones that are expensive, first of all, if you're trying to make a career, and in AML, and that is difficult to pass as well. If a certification is difficult to pass and expensive, very few people are going to do it. You do not want to be the one or the majority. You want to be the one that are minority, the few people who have done it, because this way you will have age in the market, in the job market, because not many people will have it. And especially because of, you're seeing, because of the inflation these days and recession, the prices of everything have increased. It's very difficult to afford the certification. Those people who are able to afford it, they are have the age in the market to apply for the jobs in big four accountancy firms or large banks, Bank of America, HDFC Bank, ICIC Bank, or finding jobs in EY or KPMG or PwC or any fintechs or startup companies that are told to be regulated and are told to have a compliance department. So there are lots of international certification, like certification CAMS from ACAMS. There is a certification from ACF CS. This is a certification called CFCS. There is certification from ICA diploma. The issue, like I was facing the same issue. I'm going to suggest you to watch a video where I made my story, so where you're going to find out why I did this one. But this one, it costs $1,000. This one costs more than $2,000, and this one, the drawback is that it takes like 6 or 8 months to pass. So you want to do the one that is expensive. Your target is to do the one that is expensive and difficult to pass. These are easy to pass, both of them, and they are affordable somewhat. Of course, this amount is high as well, but these two are affordable. You want to do the one that is difficult to pass and is expensive, because that's gonna give you age in the market, and you want to have a age where not many people have done it. They call it gold standard certification. So I was looking through the same thing, my options, and I was guided by my senior the right way, that do the one which gonna help me change my career, improve my career. And you want to watch this video where how it has helped me. So because my country was in a gray list, and I was able to exploit this certificate to change my job multiple times and able to get a better salary and better grade. So when your country will be evaluated, let's say in 2013 or 2023 or 2024, whenever your country is evaluated, you want to be prepared before for this certification, for this sort of scenario. You want to be the early mover. We call it in cryptocurrency the ones who are able to buy Bitcoin when the Bitcoin was, let's say, $1, or when the Bitcoin was $10 or even $100 back in 2012 or 2011. They were the one who were able to buy so many Bitcoin. You're seeing that Bitcoin right now is 20,000 or 21,000 today, and it reached all-time high to 69,000 or 68,000. So how much, if you're making right decision, early decision, how it can help you improve your career, rather than when you started buying Bitcoin at this rate, you are already late. You should have bought it when it was at a low price. Not many people have it. I want you to consider this thing the same way. You want to get the certification when not many people have it in India, not many people have it. Lots of people have it, this local certification, and it doesn't change their career, or this doesn't help them to get a job in compliance. So if you do not have an experience in AML, or have a knowledge about AML, you should join the course where I'm going to train you for technically and get a job by getting an international certification, which will help you in the next 3 years of its validity to switch your job multiple times and so on. I have so many success stories of the people who got 50% or 60% hike in their salary in India after getting this certification. You can see that majority of my students are from India or Indians living outside of India. So those people who are living outside of India, in Australia, in Gulf countries, in USA and so on, or those people who are living in India. I started this group 14 into 2020 in July 2023. You're seeing that lots of people by their names or by their country nationality, they are from India. In the group that I started 2 weeks ago, they joined 58 people, and you're seeing that how they are from countries like India, or people living outside of India and so on. And we're discussing this. I'm still doing this. Group 14 is going to end in 2 or 3 weeks. Group 13, they had the same thing, people from India. You're seeing so many people joining in. I want you to first of all do this certification if you think that you can afford it. And if you can afford it, and if you find time to study, and if you're thinking of writing your examination in the next 3 or 6 months, I want you to join the training session without having risk to failing it. The risk of failing the certification is that you have to pay them $300 again, $300 to retake the exam, and you can take the exam 30 days later. And that's means that you have to spend more money and you have to spend more time in doing so. If you think that you have lots of time and you can find $300 to pay them again, you can take the risk of self-preparation. If you do not want to take a risk, you want to study the right way, the efficient way, I would request you to join this thing. I charge like 13 or 14% of the salary of this amount what they charge for this, and it's not much risk when you're going to pass your exam in your first attempt. So make sure, if you are willing, if you can save this amount of money in the next 3 to 6 months, and you should start preparing right now. If you're willing to, thinking of writing the exam at the end of this year or first quarter of the next year, you should be thinking start preparing today, so that you are fully prepared for it. You have the right knowledge and technical knowledge to when you start applying for the job with a certification. Your examiner or your recruiter is going to help you, is going to hire you, and your examiner is going to pass you the certification your first attempt. So lots of people, I've trained around 910 or 900, more than 900 people so far in the last 2 years from different countries, like around 43 different countries so far. And you want to be opting for the services which the person who have the experience in it and have the right knowledge for it, rather than opting for services those people who are selling you the mock questions or enticing you or attracting you with the free training session. You will be their test subject. You do not want to be the test subject of someone. You want to be the one who go for the experience too, so that you're not taking the risk of failing the examination. So if you want to make a career, because there are very few people, you're such a large country in India, there are very few people in Mumbai or Pune or Chennai or Delhi, where the banks or the companies hire, in the compliance department. There are very few people in India who are ACAMS certified, because you're full of those people who are local, have done the local certification. That's why it doesn't have the any attraction in the market to help you get a job. So do the one which is expensive and difficult to pass, because this will help you get a job, and you want to be the early mover when your country is evaluated, whatever the situation is. If they are not going to put you in the gray list, but if they are going to put you in a white list in your country, that's a good thing, satisfactory. But they still give you some identify some deficiencies in your country to improve, and which results in lots of jobs. It's happened in everywhere. It happened in Canada, in USA, in UK, in every country which are developed countries. Financial action task force and regional style bodies were able to find some issues in the country, and which led to lots of jobs. You want to be the early mover who bought Bitcoin at less than $100. You do not want to be the one like a herd who bought the Bitcoin at at all-time high, because you will be doing that when your country will be asked to do this sort of measures, and when everyone will be finding money to do the certification, because there will be lots of demand in the job market for those certification. You want to be fully prepared for it 1 year before, so that when there is a demand, you're already at a manager level. You can get a senior level position when there's a demand in the market exponentially when your country is evaluated. So just a sincere advice for those people who are thinking of making a career. If you're working in retail banking, or if you are working in, let's say, in any other credit financing or something, you want to make a career, there is in compliance, there is no deposit targets or revenue targets to achieve. The cost center department, and you're not going to be achieving any, having any targets to achieve, so on. And the working in a bank is that the pay is much always going to be better, the job is going to be secure, and there is lots of allowances and bonuses in working in a bank because of appraisal cycles and so on. So I want you to opt for those, and this sort of certification, international certification. And I want you to also make sure that you are willing to prepare, work hard, study, learn things, so that you pass your certification in your first attempt with technical knowledge that is required right now for you to know to get a better job. Certification helps you get a job without any experience, although it's going to be a bit entry level job, but you have this certification which will help you get a better job, switch your job few months later, which will eventually in a few years, 1 or 2 3 years, you will be in a position where you are much better than what you are right now. So make sure you are fully prepared for it, and you are not taking any risk of failing this examination, because this is a very significant amount of money, and whatever the exchange rate is right now, dollars to INR, and you can see that how there's a very large amount of money for you to save and take a risk of failing the exam. So I've helped people from human resource background. A girl in Dubai, she was in a human resource background. I've helped people who have a IT background. A guy in Japan, he was a cybercrime specialist. I've helped people in India who had a medical, he was a doctor, to help him pass the certification in the first attempt. I've helped people even from the military background. There was a guy last year. He was in I think in British Army, retired from the British Army and wanted to make a career in compliance, because there were jobs, lots of jobs in London in for AML, so wanted to make a career and so on. I've helped people from in finance as well. There was a guy CFO in oil and gas sector company in Dubai as well. So my training starts from the KYC, know your customer, but to very quickly we discuss advanced AML for you to have the right knowledge and technical knowledge to help you prepare for this examination, using different documents, using my experience and my training style to help you learn from it. My training sessions are recorded and you can watch them even after 6 months and so on, when you're thinking of writing the examination. This is my all my people and who have trained, their success stories and their testimonials, and whatever I have done in the previous 2 years of helping those 900 people and so on, from different countries to pass the certification. If you want to figure it out how I train people, there are 3 training sessions that are publicly available for you to watch, but I don't do any free or demo training session. I have trained enough people to have the experience to helping them out. Those people who give free sessions or demo sessions, they want you to become your sex test subject so that they can attract more people. I've done all of that more than 2 years ago when I was trying to convince people to help to opt for my services over those people who were asking for free training session from me. I've done all of that when I was able to help a significant number of people to pass the examination. Then I was started charging people, and that's how I was able to help 900 people, more than 900 people in the last 2 years and so on. So I'm just not trying to push you to make a career. You should be evaluating yourself, and if you're thinking that you want to make a career, and I would suggest you to go for the international certification. Don't go for the local certification. My training sessions opt for all of these plus CAFCA, the associate level certification, CTMA, CKYC, and so on, because these are associate, these are professional level certification. My training session cover all of those. So if you have decided that you want to make a career, I want you to take a right decision at the right time, not when everyone will be doing CAM certification in India in the next 2 or 3 years. You want to do it today so that you are fully prepared for it for the next 2 or 3 years and ready for it. When there are jobs, they will prefer you. But when you have the experience plus certification, not gonna prefer those who just doing the certification without any experience. You will prefer for those jobs have an edge in the market right now, because there are very few people have it right now in India, and you will have a edge in the market in the future as well when your country is evaluated by the Financial Action Task Force. So just wanted to make a quick video. We're starting on 17th of September, 14 training session, weekends only, 4 hours of each training session, more than 50 hours of the training session. This is my email ID or my WhatsApp number. You should contact, register for it, start training for it, and prepare, write your examination at the end of this year or the start of the next year, and be ready to be change your career, get a better job with a better salary, with job security, and with better bonuses and so on, because they are demanded in the banks, financial institutions, fintechs, and big four accountancy firm. So hopefully this was helpful for you, and I'm gonna make a caption like which for only for Indians. I'm gonna, if I find that lots of people find it successful or find it helpful, and then I'm gonna make a for US, Canada, and UK as well in future when I have the time. So thank you so much for watching it, and have a good day. Take care.